In the majestic Everlight Kingdom, a great palace stood home to 12 radiant princesses. Everyone admired their poise and grace, but no one saw the mystery that unfolded each night. Every morning, their shoes were found shredded and coated in a strange, glowing dust, as if they'd walked through enchanted lands. Yet, their bedroom door was always locked tight from the outside. The king, both frustrated and embarrassed by this royal riddle, made a grand proclamation. Anyone who could solve the mystery would receive a reward beyond their wildest dreams. But failure meant permanent exile from the kingdom. Many tried their luck. Brave knights, ambitious princes, and even cunning spies took on the challenge. But each one left defeated, completely baffled by the princesses. The sisters were disciplined, united, and far cleverer than anyone gave them credit for. Then came Rowan. He wasn't a knight or a prince, just a humble traveler with a keen eye for detail. He wasn't interested in the reward, he simply craved the truth. When the king ushered him into the princess's chamber, the sisters shared knowing, amused glances. The eldest, Princess Alara, stepped forward with unshakable confidence. "You won't follow us," she stated simply. Rowan didn't argue, he didn't boast, he just lay down on the cot provided for him, feigned sleep, and waited. As midnight struck, the room fell silent, and then he saw it. The youngest princess tapped her heel on the floor, producing a faint click. A circle of runes glowed beneath their beds, revealing a hidden staircase. It wasn't magic, but a brilliant mechanical design disguised as enchantment. One by one, the 12 sisters descended into the glowing passageway. Rowan, silent as a shadow, followed them down. He found himself in a tunnel lined with crystal roots that shimmered like a captured galaxy. The tunnel opened into a breathtaking forest, bathed in the soft glow of floating lights, a dreamlike world hidden beneath the kingdom. But what he saw next was more shocking than any fairy tale enchantment. The princesses weren't dancing or meeting secret suitors. They were training. Vigorously, they were sparring with swords, practicing defensive spells, and running through complex battle formations. They pushed themselves harder than any soldier in the royal guard. They weren't escaping their duties. They were preparing for a danger the kingdom was completely unaware of. Princess Myra spotted Rowan in the shadows but didn't even flinch. Instead, she looked him straight in the eye, her voice filled with fierce honesty. "We don't want to be ornaments in our father's palace. We want to protect Everlight." That single sentence held the weight of years of silent struggle, frustration, and unwavering strength. Rowan understood everything in that instant. This wasn't rebellion, it was a secret, desperate effort to protect their home from the shadows their own father refused to see. But before he could ask any more questions, a deep, terrifying roar echoed through the crystal forest. A wave of dark mist began to roll over the distant hills. The danger they had been preparing for was finally here. The Shadowborn army, a force born of corrupted magic, was tearing through the kingdom's borders at an alarming speed. The soldiers panicked. The king froze in disbelief. The royal guards were completely outnumbered and unprepared. But the princesses, they had been training for this exact moment. Without a shred of hesitation, Princess Alara's voice rang out, clear and commanding. Formation 12. Move. Their secret training wasn't just a hobby, it was a meticulously crafted battle plan. They stormed out of the hidden forest, with Rowan right behind them. As the night sky cracked with the force of dark magic, the 12 princesses stood on the front lines, their bodies glowing with sheer determination. The battle was ferocious. Shadows with teeth leaped from the darkness. Arrows of dark energies streaked through the air. But the princesses were a force of nature. Mira shattered the enemy's barrier with a powerful blast of crystal light. Seren spun through the battlefield like a whirlwind, her twin blades a blur of silver cutting through the darkness. The youngest Princess Lyra summoned massive walls of enchanted vines to shield the terrified villagers. Rowan fought alongside them, astonished by their precision and absolute fearlessness. As blurred into minutes. Just as dawn was about to break, Princess Alara drove her blade into the Shadowborn commander's staff, delivering the final decisive blow. The dark army crumbled into dust, swept away by the morning wind. Everlight Kingdom was saved, not by its army, not by its knights, But by the 12 princesses the world had so foolishly underestimated. As the first rays of sunlight touched the battered land, the king approached his daughters. His face was no longer filled with anger, but with a profound dawning realization. He had tried to protect them by caging them, by locking them within a palace of his own expectations. All the while, they had been protecting the entire kingdom, risking everything to prepare for a threat he had chosen to ignore. He bowed his head, a gesture no one had ever witnessed from the proud king, and declared that from that day forward, the warriors of Everlight would be trained and led by its 12 princesses. For the very first time, the sisters stepped into the daylight not as fragile symbols of royalty, but as true heroes. Their secret training became the cornerstone of Everlight's new era, where courage meant more than appearance, and where leadership was earned through strength, heart, and unwavering dedication. The 12 princesses of Everlight taught their kingdom a lesson it would never forget. The ones you underestimate may just be the ones who save you. True strength isn't always loud, too. Real power isn't always obvious. And those who refuse to be kept small will ultimately become unstoppable. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe, because the world of Everlight is just beginning. Thanks for watching.